Welcome, everybody, to the Blaston VR Master League Season 1, Week 3. My name is NightFiree with 2 E's, joined by my co-caster, Captain Fabulous. Cap, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastically, NightFiree. I'm very excited for this match. I don't know about you, but I've been looking forward to this one all week.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned it, I think, early on in the week. You know, you wanted to keep an eye on this matchup. And obviously, Slowyd really doing well to establish themselves in the high tier of the ladder going into this third week. But going to be an exciting matchup to see how yellkell goes up against one of the mod favorites, if you will. But, yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts here? Do you think this is going to be a close battle?
I think it's definitely got the potential to be a very close battle. Both of these players, top of the European leaderboards. Neither one of them has dropped a game after Slowyd broke my heart last week. Both sporting 6-0 records here.
Wow.
And, yeah, and this will be an interesting clash of techniques. Yellkell's quite famously known for trapping his opponents at the front of the podium using that super majestic to force them off the back, and then follow up with a double Viper follow-up. But Slowyd, for a long time in Europe, over a year, has been known as one of the best dodgers from the European scene. And really, what I expect this match to come down to is just how well Slowyd can dance in front of yellkell to avoid those Vipers.
Yeah, and we are getting a little bit of a look into the kits here, and so let's cut over the gameplay, Fab. And while they're warming up, what are we seeing here? Anything that's surprising you on the loadouts between these two?
The only thing surprising me on yellkell's side is I see that Cortex shield, which he doesn't tend to run. It will slow down his build a little bit, but I imagine that's to deal with bullet hell or some additions. Slowyd always surprises me with build because he doesn't necessarily have a specific build archetype that he will bring every time. He's quite versatile in that respect. He has brought that bounce nova though, which I have, between me and a few other players, been saying that I would quite like to see against yellkell quite a lot if played, because yellkell traditionally doesn't have a lot of things he can use to deal with the Nova, but he is packing that Cortex shield this time, which is one of the better answers. I believe that's a damage lance from Slowyd. Okay. Really, I feel that this build has been tailored towards putting out constant pressure on yellkell, while having a nice shield with the Nova, so that when he gets pushed to the front of his podium, he can throw a Nova in front of him, and if yellkell doesn't deal with it, he's then got to be very aware of the Nova coming back and bouncing from the backside.
That damage lance, definitely an effective tool that we saw utilized just a few games last week. Really chips away at your opponent, and we are diving into the action right now. I gave the go-ahead to Slowyd, and into round one of game one we go in a best of 5. Off to the races as Slowyd and yellkell both chip away what seems to be equal health, and there comes that big Nova to sort of deny the bullet hell a little bit. Can be used as a shield, but also can be used as a zoning element, and right here it's forcing yellkell down into a couple of shots that connect for Slowyd.
Well, what you can see from here from Slowyd is that by just constantly putting that Nova down, yellkell has a minefield of Novas to watch out, both from the back and the front. And he can never feel safe. He's got to constantly turn around and look at those Novas to make sure they're not going to hit him. And Slowyd's getting the better end of the deal here.
Ooh, but they get connected by that super majestic. They bounce into it, and that takes a big chunk of health down. Again, they run into it. I think a little bullet connecting there as well, and equal health as we get down into this final minute. And I love to see that Nova bounce. Essentially, once it starts to bounce, the Nova comes back off of cooldown. There can be a sandwich of Novas coming at yellkell there, and an interesting strategy being deployed here. Oh, but again, the super majestic chips away at Slowyd as they try and assault yellkell there with both that frostbite and a couple of lance shots. The Wildcat not connecting, but Slowyd does get chipped away a little bit more. Not able to get with that frostbite, but there's a big lance connect. And each player chipping one health point away at a time here as the Viper doesn't connect. If that did, it would have been game over for yellkell. We're at an even Steven here with 20 seconds left in round one.
Yeah, I imagine this can be solved by pretty much... Oh, there we go. It's done. So a few things I want to talk about in that game. Yellkell, I saw him multiple times going for a cheeky bounce Viper, where he shoots the podium and tries to get an upward bounce to catch the opponent off guard. The other thing to notice is that when yellkell lays down that Super Majestic, because you only lose health on the podium when your head goes outside of it, so in order to try and get the most amount of distance to get right to the back of his opponent, you see that he looks away. Okay, and whenever he looks away, Slowyd just throws a snowball or puts down a damage lance, because by looking away that gives yellkell less time to react. So he's eating a load of damage right now. He's taken 2 Vipers from the back, and what can he do to try and
a huge frostbite connects there onto yellkell. That does a big chunk of damage, and the lance chipping away huge at yellkell there. Slowyd avoiding that super majestic on the lower end, of dodging the ellipse shots from the Raptor, and now here comes the sandwich with the Nova and a little bit of some ellipse shots that connect onto yellkell. Big damage now, just 1 or 2 shots away from going down, and there it is. Slowyd takes game 1 in 2 rounds. Hard fought, though, by the likes of yellkell, and I wonder if we're just going to get a pause here, a little water break, it looks like. You see yellkell hydrate over in the corner, but do you think we're seeing a loadout switch here or no?
I don't think we're going to see a loadout switch, because I think Slowyd's come in here with a game plan and he's very happy with this loadout. And yellkell, unless he's going to change up the shield, he knows what loadout he likes to play, and it's this one. He's going to play this against anything, even if it's direct counter to his playstyle. But I just want everyone to watch when yellkell puts down that Super Majestic, he looks away and watch what Slowyd's doing. If he's got a snowball or a lance in his hand, he's going to put that down and capitalize on when yellkell's got his head the other way.
A good dodge there of that frostbite that comes in. Another good dodge of the lance. That lance poke, very dangerous. And yellkell able to connect with some counter shots in that bit of a barrage, but one or two bullets and the guns landing onto yellkell do chip away at their health little by little. Here comes the potential sandwich for the Novas. Doesn't look like Slowyd's going to go for that Nova sandwich. They're going to instead go with the bullet hell assault. The shield comes up to block, but it doesn't block enough. The lance does a huge bit of damage and almost predicting yellkell's dodge. The bottom corner connects, but the Viper has the potential to turn the tide for yellkell, and there it does. The Wildcat connecting for some big damage, and that last Viper shot needed the hit. Here comes another assault with a bit of a Raptor ellipse and a Viper ellipse. Can't hit those, and yellkell not able to hold on to their HP here as they lose little by little. Dodging that full barrage. They still have 45 seconds to do something, but there's the frostbite connecting.
Yeah, yellkell's whole build is about pushing you to the front of your podium, but in the process of setting up that Super Majestic, he does have about half a second of just leaving himself exposed. And we can see Slowyd capitalizing on that quite effectively. But just remember, yellkell is never out of a round. He's got double Vipers. It means you can take off half the opponent's health in less than a second.
Yeah, that double Viper, a dangerous element. And, oh, well, the Raptor ellipse doing some big chunks of damage here on the Slowyd. There's the Viper shot that connects. That's what yellkell has been looking for in this series, dodging the frostbite, but here comes the full bullet assault. The shield being a big element in keeping yellkell alive, but a huge Wildcat sequence connects all the way through yellkell's dodging. Great prediction by Slowyd. Here comes the full assault with the Super Majestic. The lasers trying to counter the aggression onto yellkell. The Viper shot's not quite connecting. Good dodging there. The shield comes up, doesn't do much. Goes back into the hands of Slowyd, and oh no, they dropped their Wildcat in a bit of a panic trying to grab it from the back. It goes floating off, and that's that. They can't use that tool until it respawns. Yellkell on the back foot here as round 2 looks to be going the way of Slowyd, and it does as yellkell tries to cross the lasers. 2 rounds into the pockets here of Slowyd, 2 games, and yeah, now we're seeing a potential reset here.
Yeah, that looks to be a loadout switch from yellkell. I'm interested to see what he's going to bring. I don't imagine he's going to stray from the Super Majestic double Viper. I'd be very interested to see yellkell play a different build. He's a fantastic player at the game, but I think I've ever seen him on a different build than this. So I imagine that he's probably going to be switching out that Cortex shield, maybe switching it to an Aegis shield just to try and bring down his cooldown. Plus, the majority of what he should be using this Cortex shield for, or a shield in general, is to be dealing with these Novas. And an Aegis shield is actually more effective at dealing with Novas than a Cortex shield, because a Cortex shield only has the HP to get rid of 2, whereas an Aegis shield has the HP to get rid of 3.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing you want to do is reach up with your shield to block a Nova and then have it go away with another bullet, and then you're touching a Nova round instead of blocking it. You know, you have to have that shield there and available. And it looks like we are going to be jumping into our next lobby here shortly. So appreciate everyone that is tuning in here and hanging out, catching the action this afternoon. If you are have any friends, be sure to bring them on board, have them drop by and catch the games that we have this afternoon. We should have, after this, DeFour versus... Oh, I know who it is.
Oh, he's... so DeFour's playing not Knife. That's you.
That's me.
Deadshot.
Deadshot.
And one other player. Let me just get the matches up for you.
Yeah. Dig around in there for me.
So Spectro. So it should be DeFour versus Spectro, then DeFour versus a Deadshot.
Thank you very much.
So 2 games to have coming up afterwards.
Yeah, I knew it was Spectro. Yeah, we have 2 more games after this. A nice little sequence of action here this afternoon, and we are just waiting to get in. I don't know what button I hit here, but I don't seem to have a UI displaying for me or any. Up there it is. As we get ready to go into the action, I'll cut us over and we can take a look at the loadouts. What are we seeing here, Fabulous? The change, if any, coming in. Oh, the Lance from yellkell?
Yeah, we see a Lance from Yelk, so he's got rid of that shield. He's just stuck a Lance in there, just full aggression. And you know what I love about Slowyd? He's changed up his build very slightly, and I've actually talked about doing this, which is he switched out his Nova bounce for a Nova HP, just to throw a bit more confusion towards yellkell of how to deal with those Novas.
Oh, a big Viper Ellipse connects there, and it's almost like maybe they were trying to counter the use of the Lance coming in from yellkell with the Nova HP, because that's a good tool to battle against the Lance and block it. But Slowyd here is getting absolutely hammered in this round with a great bit of zone denial coming in from yellkell. They're forcing Slowyd down into the corners, and you can see here comes the that Nova to try to deny the Lance, and a big Viper Ellipse connects. yellkell finally landing some key shots that they've needed in this series. And talk about key, as they are backs against the wall, looking at losing this series right here if Slowyd wins two rounds in a row. And so yellkell looking to push this best of 5 series the distance, and out the gate, a huge chunk of change down on Slowyd.
Yeah, now's the time to put up or shut up. So like, if you're going to if you need to get back in the game, now's the time to do it.
Oh!
Slowly just eating Viper shots from the back there. That's going to be so painful to go through.
Big bit of laser damage there, though, and now yellkell trying to counter with some of their own. The Viper Ellipse shots, if it connects now, it's going to be the demise of Slowyd. Their HP certain to be gone, and nothing connects there with the double Viper coming out, and here comes the Bullet Hell Assault, the Raptor, the Wildcat. Those don't connect onto Slowyd. Instead, yellkell gets shipped away by the lasers, can't dodge the Frostbite, and we are even 1 round apiece. And again, this is potential series point here for Slowyd if they win this round.
Looks like yellkell's decision with the Lance here isn't going for damage like Slowyd. He's not opted for the damage Lance. He's looking more to trap, which is why he's going for that extra ammo Lance to be put down 4 instead of 2.
Really good maneuvering from yellkell, observing and recognizing the pattern displayed there from Slowyd, completely dodging the assault and connecting with 3 Raptor Ellipse in a row, or Raptor up bounces, and then all it takes is a Wildcat. Yellkell,
well
just like that, snags a game, and that's the power of the, that is the power of the Viper right there.
Yeah, well, this is a nice switch up from yellkell. Rather than trying to have a bit of defense in his build, he's been like, no, I have to be the aggressor. I have to control the pace of this match. If I'm having to use that shield, that's just slowing down my combos.
Yeah.
I'm going to swap it out for a Lance and force you to move around the podium into my shots. I must imagine that this has to be a loadout swap from Slowyd. And if I was going to imagine what he's going to do, if I was in Slowyd's position, I would switch the Novas to bounce Novas. That's all I'd do. Because yellkell's got nothing really to deal with Novas here. Nothing at all. So you may as well make them bounce, because he's not destroying them either way.
Yeah, right. Really, it make them interfere. But I guess wouldn't that the laser end up would that destroy a non-health Nova?
I mean, not really. I before Nova's attachments, when I was running Double Viper Nova, I used to use Nova as a direct counter to laser, just to get something in front of me. Okay. There might have been a bit of lag in that last match, but apparently it's whatever. We'll
soldier on.
We'll see. Hope. I think we're just gonna take that game. I think both players played incredibly well. I don't think anyone's going to dispute the result.
Yeah. It came down to the tied 1-1. So obviously, whatever sort of potential lag there was, I would imagine it's went kind of both ways there at the end of the day. But yeah, I suppose lag would make it tough to dodge Viper shots as well. So either way, a good series, like we said, and we're just waiting now for our next lobby code, as we hopefully do get into a better or more stable instance as they do reset. And so again, we appreciate everyone that is patiently waiting for the beginning of this next round, and that is hanging out and tuning in and catching the action. I see Alamo Jam, Allium Sativum, and Sonnet Broom in here all hanging out. Bot 01 as well. We really appreciate you all stopping by and catching the action this afternoon. As we mentioned earlier, we have more games lined up later today. Just a few minutes, really. Dufour going up against. Oh gosh, we just had it. I don't want, and I can't. We're dealing with getting into the lobby, so I can't quiz you. I got it right here. Spectro, Dufour versus Spectro coming up, and then after that, Dufour versus Deadshot. So catch one of your favorite Blaston devs with two of their, I think, first VRML matches. I think they've unfortunately had to forfeit quite a bit, so having some spectator issues. We'll get things sorted here in just a minute, but for now, what are you seeing in there, Cap? You seeing any loadout swaps, anything like that?
I just want to give a big shout out to Slowyd, who's obviously heard what I had to say, and the only switch I've seen is a Nova HP going to a Nova bounce to make me look good. So thank you, admin buddy.
Yeah, well, it's always good. It always feels nice to be right on the predictions too on the depth. So well done there. Put one on the board for you, and it looks like I have sorted out my spectator issues. So we'll go ahead and give the go-ahead to the players. As we have I think we're permanently stuck with the the out-of-bounds audio sound. But again, that'll be fixed shortly as we get ready to get into what is game number 4 of a best of 5. Slowyd has taken the first 2 games. Yellkell now trying to bounce back off of a nice bit of Viper maneuvering, if you will. That lance really a key element in zoning, I think, Slowyd into the proper space. And so I'm curious to see now how the change with the lance in the hands of Yellkell, but also the Nova going back to that bounce Nova. What are we going to get here? It's a little bit of a combination of multiple games that we've seen between these two teams throughout the day. And hope that sound goes away. Oh, it's not going to.
I didn't hear it on my end because I'm watching through this space, but you can always turn down the.
That's what I'll be. That's what I'll be doing. It'll be mostly us on the audio department here, but either way, a exciting matchup here as Yellkell gets chunked away, but a big connect onto Slowyd there, dodging that frostbite that's been very effective against Yellkell so far this afternoon, and now zoning them down into the bottom of the space while the Wildcat comes in. Good dodging from Slowyd and a nice counter as Yellkell is worried about any shots bouncing off behind them, dodging the bullet hell, avoiding the lance damage that does a big bit of damage to them, and trying to set up these Viper shots that are not connecting. Here comes the Raptor Ellipse. That misses just a touch wide, and there's a big connect finally. Another one onto Slowyd as this Viper is playing a key element in Yellkell's success this afternoon.
Yeah, this game just it's really decided by how well those light Vipers land.
50 seconds left on this round. Here comes the full setup. Yellkell takes a big chunk of damage as they try to avoid and dodge off of the floor. Now they have their turn at the assault, and Slowyd just tries to battle back the aggression with a couple of shots. That's all they needed. One bullet to hit the hand. Anything really, even a gun thrown at them did the trick. And now Slowyd has the lead in game number 4 of this best of 5. Yellkell again down one match. They cannot afford to lose here, or it is series over into the hands of Slowyd, and that's a big opening for Slowyd with that frostbite connecting. Yellkell getting chipped away by some damage. Finally, Slowyd taking some hits there as the Viper connects, not the Ellipse. The Ellipse was the setup to force Slowyd into that Viper shot. That last Viper Ellipse goes just a touch wide, and Yellkell's turn to Slowyd's turn to attack here.
But yeah, you see there, like I was saying in the earlier games, as Yellkell goes up to put that Super Majestic, that's just a point where Slowyd can get a bit of free damage on him. So close now, one shot from Slowyd will end this. Or 2 with the Wildcat.
The Viper is going to be playing a big element here in Yellkell's potential success. They cannot get away from those Novas, and the fist bump to end the series. That means Yellkell takes it Slowyd takes it 3-1, and well, our first series of the day in the books. You said it was going to be a good one. It certainly turned out to be a nice battle between with yellkell trying to come back there. That's a tough comeback after you've lost 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, well played to both players. yellkell put on a fantastic showing, and Slowyd was able to clutch it out at the end. Slowyd, I saw that basketball shot. You should feel bad about yourself. It's a bit, come on. You know better than that. But well played to both players. Fantastic display of skill on both ends. And, really we couldn't expect anything less from 2 players at the very top of the European leaderboards.
Yeah, very fun stuff. We're going to go to a brief intermission as we get ready for our next matchup again. That is going to be DeFour versus Spectro. And hopefully DeFour can get their battery problem solved as they see them typing in chat there that they have no batteries. But yes, we will be going to a brief intermission. When we come back, we will be jumping into DeFour versus Spectro. So don't go anywhere. More Blaston in just a few moments. Well, apologies, everyone. It looks like we won't be jumping right into the action. We may potentially cast these games in a few minutes, but it's going to take a little bit for one of the players to charge their headset and get ready for the game. So we do apologize, but that is likely going to be the end of the stream here this afternoon. We will again announce if we're going to be continuing on with more games, but for now we are going to cut it. We do appreciate you stopping by. Hit the follow button. Catch more action. There's going to be games cast live tonight with Dr. Oolong. I might jump in on those as well. So be sure to not miss out. As again, Blaston is here to stay. We're going to be bringing more casters on board in the near future. So keep your eyes peeled for more games on this channel. And yeah, we appreciate your support.